The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bionic Fantasy. The recommended customers play just $5, get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code NBA SGPN. And welcome, everyone, to the NBA Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Currently Friday night, December 12th, around 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm Rose Gower, show once again joined by Lonte Smith for the second episode of the day. Bonus episode because we do have the semifinals of the NBA Cup in Vegas happening tomorrow. So instead of recording early in the morning, we're going to record late tonight. The line's been out for a day or two already. Why not? Lonte, how's it going with you? What's up?
Yeah, man, pretty good. Sucks that the Hornets didn't get there for the dog and still got the
Con the damn ball.
Yeah,
Let Con cook, man.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. Charlotte
and out down the stretch, they didn't give him the ball. Brandon Miller kept trying to jack up bad shots at the end of regulation.
Yeah, I mean, Con had it going. Miles Bridges had it going. I thought they were pretty. I thought they were going to actually blow Chicago out, but didn't get there. But pushed on the number, but didn't get there with the dog. But the lock's still in play. Got some good CLV with the Ant news. I thought Ant would play actually, but that worked out well for us. But yeah,
I thought he was going to play.
Yeah. Outside of that, man, pretty good.
Yeah, for me, ended up losing the dog. Indiana, I think, made 2 shots from the floor in the last 7 minutes of the game. Embiid at 39, so he took it personally, but Indiana was still right there. They couldn't have shot the entire fourth quarter, so that was definitely annoying. Not only to see them lose, they didn't even cover, which sucked. However, though, on the bright side, I hit my lock. I had Utah plus the points. They went outright against the Grizzlies. Thought they were live to win, and they came out and they won. I thought that the Grizzlies could not rebound because they had no size with Edey being out. And what do you know, Nurkic had a monster game. They couldn't rebound the ball. And Utah found a way to hang on at the end. I mean, Ja was horrific down the stretch in the last minute or two. Bricked a three-pointer down the stretch as well. Had a bad turnover. Still a 10 assists. He played overall okay. 7 of 20 from the floor. Still not ideal, but he was really not good in crunch time, and Utah was able to get the job done. So nice job by Utah. Shout out to Nurkic, who had 17 rebounds. Laurie had 9 rebounds, and Love had 8. So Utah out-rebounded Memphis 58-49. So keep an eye out for opposing centers and power forwards against the Grizzlies in the future. Because without Edey, this team can't rebound. So there you go. But either way, point is a nice lock win for me. And unfortunately, the Pacers fell apart entirely in the fourth quarter, even though I was right, and Maxey ended up not playing. So moving on to the NBA Cup, of course, we have 2 games happening in Vegas on Saturday. Before we get into the 2 games on the card, though, a reminder that if you want to get access to all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient place, SGPN app is the place to go. Download it for free in the App Store. Just type in SGPN to get access to all of our free picks and podcasts in one easy location. So moving on to the first game on the card for Saturday. With the game that we actually saw a couple days, teams play every week at this point. The Knicks taking on the Magic again. Knicks are laying 4.5 against Orlando, and the over-unders at 223.5. Now, a reminder for the injury report: Franz is not out for the season with a torn ACL or anything. He's going to be out for about a month, but that's definitely good news for Orlando. Bad news, of course, he's not going to play for the next month. So we'll see what happens, but they've looked okay so far without Franz. It was pretty interesting timing that Franz got hurt right when Paolo came back. So it kind of just
like that last year too.
Yeah, it just segued right into each other. So it's kind of fine at this point. We'll see what happens. But the Knicks, we saw them bury Toronto in their last game of the NBA Cup. As for Orlando, nice win against Miami. Dane had 37. We had a monster game there. A reminder, it's in a neutral, so the unders have been pretty good in Vegas in the past. Knicks still laying 4.5, starting there. Do you think the line's right?
Yeah, I think it's about right. I mean, the way the Knicks have been playing, I faded them the last game out against Toronto because I thought, their road record spoke for itself. They were pummeling teams, but like they weren't doing it on the road, not against quality opponents. They weren't covering games, they weren't winning games on the road, but then they kind of flipped the script, and that maybe have more to do with Toronto than it does, the Knicks. But I mean, credit to them, and Mike Brown's doing a hell of a job with that staff. I mean, with that team. I think you talked about the insertion of Josh Hart being back in the starting lineup is adding them some firepower, some rebounding. Is not putting a lot on Cat to be able to get all the rebounds. So second chance points, Brunson can walk into those threes, which is kind of his bread and butter. So I think the number's about right, but I think I like the Magic here.
And what's your case for Orlando? Just a physicality thing, or?
Well, I do like the physicality, but I do feel like that the Knicks, the one thing that they do struggle with is like half court, and I think the Magic can excel in turning them into a half court, keeping them out of transition. They typically do that pretty well. The defense was, it was struggling early on, and then again, they're still working with guys in and out of the lineup. But Jalen Suggs being a really good defender, I think he can, maybe push Brunson to be a little bit more inefficient. I mean, Brunson's going to get his, but the inefficiency could be there for him, and he has a tendency to, force some shots when he's not getting what he wants. So I do think that Jalen Suggs will be able to do that. He has to stay out of foul trouble, though, because they don't have a ton of other on-ball defenders. Anthony Black is good, but he kind of still young, doesn't really know how to defend at that level without fouling a ton. So it'll be pretty important for him to stay out of foul trouble. Offensively, they've been playing a lot better, man. The Magic have been playing a lot better regardless of who's in the lineup. I like the way Wendell Carter's been playing. Like Dogo Batazzi. The young guys, Tristan Da Silva has been playing okay as well. So, I like the contributions that I'm getting. Both teams play, probably about the same amount of people. So I think the depth is not a concern. But I think I trust the Magic in a half-court setting, which is if we, going with the under, which has typically been the good bet here. I think the Magic are more prone to win this type of game, and they'll make it a little bit slower pace. So I'm gonna go with the Magic plus that 4.5.
Yeah, I do think it's worth mentioning in the last game, which was played 5 days ago between these teams, the Knicks were 13-1 at home, so you can take that with a grain of salt. Did not play in that game. Franz got hurt in that game 7 minutes in. It's a bit of a weird game to evaluate because nobody could hit a shot in the entire game. They combined for 66 points in the first quarter, and the game still landed 206. Like, that game died. Nobody could shoot. You're looking at Orlando shooting 38% from the floor. The Knicks shot 43%. So it was just a very ugly basketball game. Anthony Black, though, had 11 rebounds, double-double off the bench. So nice job by him. But I guess the question that I have, though, if you are picking a low-scoring physical game, do you think Orlando can make enough shots down the stretch to actually outlast the Knicks? Or do you think just having Brunson as your closer with Cat thrown in there, do they just have a few, I'd say, higher quality options in crunch time that might, I'd say, scare you off of taking Orlando? Because I wanted to agree with you about Orlando, especially if they're getting 4.5, because this game does feel like it's going to be very close. But do I trust Paolo and company in this environment, which they've never been in, by the way? They've never been to Vegas for a semifinal of, I don't think the Knicks have either, because they lost to Trey, right, last year?
Yep. Yeah, last year.
They ended up losing.
Yep.
So it's kind of a new spot for both teams, but the Knicks have more playoff experience, etc., by comparison. But I am a bit concerned if the game is close.
Yeah.
Who do I trust more, Brunson and Cat, or Paolo and, I mean, who is the second option?
Bane.
Suggs? Bane? Yeah, Bane. Bane's the right answer, yeah. Or Bane or Paolo. I think I'd go Brunson and Cat. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go with the Knicks. I mean, they've been really good with Hart being in the starting lineup, but then again, the Knicks, I said before, are great at home. They've not been that great away from home. So we'll see what happens, but I think I'll disagree. I think no matter which team you are picking to win, it's going to be close either way. So I don't mind a 1-10 on whichever side you want to go with. I'll take Knicks 1-10. This could be a 1-point game. Like, this could be a really close battle throughout, but I think the Knicks survive. I'll go Knicks 1-10. Yeah,
that's a great point. Like, I don't have any problem with that. Especially the closing thing is an issue because you can't load up on Paolo to the point where you leave Bane, because Bane is, capable of knocking down those shots. He showed it in the game that they just played, knocking out.
I think the Knicks actually match up decently against Paolo. I think Bane can give them problems because he can come around screens, and the Knicks are not the best three-point defense. But Paolo likes to use physicality, You throw in Bridges, you throw in Anunoby. You have a couple of guys who actually can give Paolo some problems.
Yeah, but just as far as the closing part, the Knicks do have that down with Jalen, especially. I mean, that's not even debatable. So definitely agree with you on that. But I mean, I like the points. Like you said, I think it's gonna come down to a last possession or two, and I think the Magic maybe can stay within that 4-point range.
Yeah, I do think though if I was picking the reason why Orlando would win, I'm going Bane. Over Paolo. I think Bane's floor spacing and his overall facilitating skills are a bit underrated. I think he can definitely help his teammates involved. Paolo, I know he's had a couple of fringe triple-doubles this season where he didn't get there and everything. Still not a great fan of his court vision. It does feel like a lot of his kind of tunnel vision. I'm going to dance for about 20 seconds and I'm going to do my thing. It does feel like if the ball movement is there for Orlando, they definitely can keep this Knicks defense off balance. But if you let OG or Bridges kind of just load up on stopping Paolo and the flow is completely gone and you get him dribbling around in a post-up scenario basically for 10 seconds, I think Orlando's going to lose the game. I think they have to play more free-flowing offense. We'll see if it works out that way. But I'll trust the Knicks. I think the Knicks are just going to find enough ways to get to the free throw line and to make enough clutch baskets to win. But once again, they might not cover. So I'll go 1-10 instead. Give me a close game. I like the under. I mean, most Vegas games tend to go under with the bit of layoff and with the neutral site. I'm assuming you like the under as well?
Yeah, I do. I do like the under. Yeah. I mean, I think it's correlated. I think if you like Magic, you like under. If you like Knicks, over.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Knicks in the under, but I do think Orlando is going to correlate with the under, definitely.
Yeah.
I like the under in general. I mean, the last meeting I said before, it's 66 points in the first quarter, and the game still landed 206. So even one good quarter, and you're not completely dead, because you might get a quarter that has less than 50 points. You might have a couple of quarters with less than 50. So I could see one quarter killing the total in general. So I like the under, and I like the Knicks personally. But give me the 1-10. I'll ask you, though, for player props, what do you like in terms of some guys, either for, I'd say, tailing or fading in this matchup?
Yeah, well, I think Anthony Black is going to have a good floor game. I think the ball is going to be in his hands more just so they can't load up on Paolo and he can get Bane some open looks. So I'm looking at Anthony Black's rebounds and assists. I'm also looking at Bane. I think Bane, you talked about it. Bane's got some advantages here, especially in the half court if they want to make it a half court game. He shipped with the drive and kick game with Paolo posting up a little bit more as well. I think Bane's in for a good day as well. I would look at his three. So rebounds and assists for Anthony Black and points and threes for Desmond Bane. On the Knicks side, I love Josh Hart. I love Josh Hart's points, rebounds higher. His double-double, if it's still the price that I think it is, it'll probably be my dog at the end of the show, to be honest.
I can check that right now. So Josh Hart's regular PR is 22.5.
Yeah.
Double doubles plus 145.
Yep, that's what I was going to take. Yep. So I thought about right 140, 150. So yeah, they're right on par.
Yeah, one prop I'll go with Suggs under on his 8.5 RA. It's at even money. He's at a less than 9 RA in 6 straight. Against the Knicks, he's been quite terrible in the RA category. He has actually had less than 8 RA in 4 straight. It's at 8.5. So the Knicks kind of have been able to shut him down from a stats perspective. And on top of that, recently he has not been great at getting RAs, especially when you're looking at Paolo and you're looking at Bane. The ball's not in Suggs' hands as much as it was previously. So the assists have really not been there. The rebounds are okay, but they're not amazing by any means. And you have Cat, you have Mitchell Robinson, you have a lot of good rebounders for the Knicks as well. So I like the Suggs under 8.5 RA at even money. Anyway, before we get into the other game on the card, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Kalshi. So if you're interested in using prediction markets legal in every state with real money, try Kalshi, because you can trade a bunch of markets in sports, in different actual leagues. You have the NFL, you have college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can also trade props like first touchdowns. They also have a ton of other options, including politics, entertainment, and even weather. And a reminder, if you're trying out Kalshi for the first time, new customers can get a great deal with us. Get a free $20 if you use the code SGPN when you sign up. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN for a free $20 at sign up. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. So if you like pick 'em entries, chance to win 5,000 times your entry, pick higher or lower on player stats. You can mix and match your sports, NBA, NHL, tennis, UFC, you name it. A lot of options for you on Underdog. And a reminder, they have a new offer for customers. Play just $5, get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code NBA SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA Island podcast. Finished going through the first game for the semis on Saturday in the NBA Cup. Time to move on into the last game on the schedule. The Spurs taking on the Thunder. Thunder laying 8.5. The over-under is at 225.5. Now, unlike the Knicks and the Magic and the Spurs, the Thunder have been here before. A reminder, the Thunder did lose in the final of the NBA Cup last year. So we have seen the Thunder in this environment before. I believe they beat, I want to say it was Houston in the semis last year. Does that sound right?
Think so.
I think it was Houston in the semis.
Yeah, I think so.
So the point is they have played a couple. They played a couple of games in Vegas before, so they're experienced in this environment. But either way, they're laying 8.5. Of course, we know that they are still missing Hartenstein, and they've been injured, but who cares? I mean, they win every game. As for San Antonio, some big news is that Wemby is expected to play. So after sitting out for a little while, the point is it does seem, according to reports, that Wemby wants to play, and they want him back. Is he guaranteed to play? No, but it does seem, according to all reports, it's going to happen. So you're looking at Wemby probably being back. Castle, we know, has played the last couple games, had a monster game against the Lakers in the NBA Cup quarters as they buried the Lakers in that last game. Thunder, though, laying 8.5 after beating Phoenix by what felt like 90 points. I'll ask you, 8.5. Is it fair, or do you think it's a little bit too maybe low based on the record, or too high because Wemby's back?
It's probably fair, man. Anything with Oklahoma City, I just don't know what you do, to be honest with you, man. And the scary thing is they just started making threes. Like they hadn't made three. They couldn't
shoot for 2 months and they've lost one game.
Yeah, I mean this stems back all the way to the playoffs. Like they weren't good throughout the playoffs and they were still dominant, especially at home. But like the number is probably about right. I mean the Spurs are really. They pose a decent matchup for them simply because of their guard and wing depth. Like they have the bodies to be able to withstand some of the things that Oklahoma City does well.
Oh, by the way, sorry, just to stand corrected, I thought Hartenstein was out. He's actually available.
Okay.
Hartenstein will be playing.
Sorry. Yeah, that makes it even better for them.
Wanted to mention that though. So both teams are getting reinforcements. Technically, Wemby's not confirmed. But both teams should be getting their actual centers back.
Yeah, I think that'll be great for them. Spurs 8-3 last I checked without Wemby. They're learning how to win without him, and I think that's a good thing for them. I hadn't read anything about him being on any type of restrictions. I think he's going to be on full go if he is able to go. And I mean, obviously, we know the history between him and Chet not being, the best of friends and being competitive. So I'm excited for that. This is great for the NBA, man. It's a great night to have this game on full display with him back in the lineup if he actually plays. But I can't bet against OKC, man. I mean, I think it'll be a really good game, and it'll come down to the Thunder coming down late in the game and making a few shots to push it over this number. The Spurs are going to have to make shots. I mean, the Thunder are going to force you to make shots. They're not going to allow you to get in the paint. They're not going to allow you to run. But the good thing about the Spurs is, man, they have multiple ball handlers. They got Fox, they got Harper, they got Wemby. Like, they have multiple ball handlers, and that's what you need whenever you're facing the pressure that OKC has. So I do think that they'll be ready. I just don't know if they have enough offense to match what the Thunder can possibly do. They're just so good, man. I really just don't know how you can. I don't know what you do. I really don't know what you do, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you also have the inexperience factor. I said before, the Thunder have been here before. The Spurs are still a young team. They are playing in Vegas for the extra prize money, etc. So we'll see how they respond to the adversity. Spurs look good against the Lakers in their last game. The Lakers, I think, are pretty fraudulent because they can't guard anybody. But at the same point, I do think it's very tough to bet against arguably the best basketball team of all time. The Thunder have been destroying everybody. The Spurs, though, I think matchup-wise are actually pretty decently equipped to handle what the Thunder can offer. Now, guarding Shea is almost impossible, and getting Hartenstein back defensively is a big deal for Oklahoma City. I think it's going to be a physical war. I love the under in the game. I know that both teams had offensive explosions in their last game. of the NBA Cup, but I could see a very physical game, two teams that might just kill each other from the get-go. Wemby might be rusty. We'll see. I do think, though, that if the Thunder's outside shooting is struggling, like we saw in the final last year against Milwaukee, where they couldn't hit a shot, I mean, Wemby is going to just punt everything at the rim. So I do think you're going to see a pretty close game. I do think it'll be low scoring. I think a lot of people will be on the Thunder just because of, how good they are, etc. The fact that the Thunder did lose last year, they might have some unfinished business. They might try to win the cup in general because they failed last year. I think San Antonio can hang in there. Now, I'm not sure they'll hang in there for the entire game, but I don't mind the first half. I think the first half has some value there. I think you're looking at the Spurs who can maybe, hit the ground running, maybe lay in the first punch, go from there, try to escape, and I think they'll end up losing. But I do think for the first half spread let me just see what the best line is right now. I see 6.5 at like minus 118. I can see a close game for about 24 minutes.
I like that.
Then the Thunder flip a switch and they outscore the Spurs by 15 at some point in the quarter, and maybe they cover the number. But I think 6.5 feels pretty good for a first half. Now, once again, that is assuming Wemby plays. According to recent reports and according to the coach Wemby, he wants to go, and it seems like they're going to let him. So I think he's going to play. I don't know how long, but I do think the Spurs will be competitive. I don't see them getting routed, but I feel better about the first half than the full game. So for my Spurs, I'd say my pro Spurs take, give me Spurs first half plus 6.5.
Yeah, I like that. Actually. You got to throw the first punch against OKC. You got to make them battle uphill because if you start off slow and they get like rolling,
if you're down like 20 immediately, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, you got to have them play uphill. Like you have to get down, 8 or 9, and then make them, push a little bit. You can't let them get comfortable off the jump ball, and then get stronger as the game goes by. And then you still have the factor of, those guys will be excited to have Wemby back on the floor. He obviously changes things from what they do on both sides of the ball, more so on
defensively. He helps a ton.
Yeah, so that, like you said, that'll force the Thunder to make a lot more jump shots. And if the jump shots aren't falling and they can get out and get some easy buckets, puts a lot of pressure on the Thunder. So I definitely 100% agree with that first half.
So I'll just ask you I'll ask you two questions actually. So first thing, scale from 1 to 10. Let's say 10's not surprised at all, 10 is shocked. How shocked would you be if San Antonio won this outright?
Probably about an 8.
Okay. I think I'd be a little bit lower, but I kind of have like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, probably.
Because with Wemby being back, who knows? Like Wemby could just have a monster.
Yeah, I mean he's that good. Yeah, he's that good. Yeah, he's that good.
I have like 6 or 7. Like I'd be surprised, but the Spurs are really good. I don't know if people realize how good the Spurs actually are. Like I question them preseason to see if they'd be able to live up to the hype. They're really good. So I wanted to give them their flowers there. But the other question I had for you, because this is kind of how I feel, is this the unofficial NBA Cup championship game?
Yeah, because do
you think whoever wins this game wins the title?
Yeah, I do.
Like, do you think the Spurs would beat the winner of the Knicks or the Magic?
Yeah, and I think the Thunder are going to bury whoever wins the second because they have so many disadvantages.
Yeah, the Thunder I feel like are a given, but I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I think whoever wins this game wins the entire cup.
Yep.
So I wasn't sure if we agreed that right now, maybe you could argue the Knicks are a little bit better than the Spurs, but I think these might be the best two teams in the entire field. I mean, especially with Wemby being back. I think these are the two best teams in the field.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think whoever wins this wins the whole thing.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be OKC. But I think the Spurs, if they pull off the upset, I mean, we're going to do another episode for the final, of course. But I think the Spurs are good enough to pull this off if they made it to the final.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So there we go. Any player props you want to mention?
You know what? I'm kind of iffy on the Spurs side because I don't know the minutes allocation that they're going to do for Wemby. But I am interested in Luke Kornet because of the way, now that you said Hartenstein's in, he's been playing well. And also, if you look at some of the stuff when he and Wemby were on the floor at the same time, they play really well together. I mean, it's similar to what Chet and Hartenstein do. They both are, the both bigs, Luke and Hartenstein, do things to help maximize what Chet and Wemby can be able to do. They don't have to guard the bigger guys. They can pass. They can work the 5-4 pick and roll. So I would like some Luke Cornett stuff because I think he'll be a big factor in the game, especially if Wemby's on a minutes restriction. For the Thunder, I mean, you never really know with them, to be honest. Like I typically look when in games like this, like bigger games. I know Shea's going to be Shea, but I may think like Aaron Wiggins or Isaiah Joe can have a decent game. The Spurs bench is okay, not the best, but I do think that one of those bench pieces can have a big night for OKC, and I think it might be Aaron Wiggins. So I may look at some Aaron Wiggins stuff. Okay, I don't know what happened to Scott, but yeah. Aaron Wiggins is who I'm looking at. And Isaiah Joe threes would be something I would look at as well. Oh, Scott's back. So I don't know if you heard anything I said.
You can keep talking. It was your player.
No. I was just filibustering while you going.
It's all good. My connection broke. Actually, perfect timing because you were in the middle of talking about your product.
Oh yeah, I was just filibustering. I already gave out the stuff that I already said.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I would actually go for because I feel like everyone's just going to blindly take Shea. And that feels very basic to me. Yeah. I think I might actually be interested in some Castle stuff, like RA. I don't mind. The rebounds have been quite good. They trust his decision-making, as they should. I know Wemby, we know, can sometimes be a little bit too hero ballish with the shot selection he has, but they got to run the pick and roll. I get that Fox is the obvious choice, but I think Castle can run it too. I don't mind Castle RA in this game. I know that he's young. We saw him have a great game against the Lakers. He's fearless. I mean, we saw him win a national title at UConn. Like, he's really, really good. So I don't mind Castle having a solid overall game. I like Castle RA for this matchup. I'll ask you, though, Lonte, for the total, by the way, for this game, under, or you like the over?
Yeah, I like under as well. I think the Spurs, honestly, I think both teams, similar approach. Turn the other team into a jump shooting team because that's not the strength of either side. So I think the pace, the Thunder don't want to play with a ton of pace. I mean, they want to play. I mean, they'll run when opportunity presents itself, but they want to, Shea likes to jog. He doesn't walk the ball up. He kind of jogs the ball up. They get into their half-court offense, and they're efficient when doing that. So, yeah, I don't think we see a ton of possessions here. And I think the game plan for both teams is similar. So, we could see a rock fight early on.
Yeah, I can see that too. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the two semifinal games for the NBA Cup on Saturday. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Before we get into the Lock and Dog, a reminder, brought to you by our sponsor, Novig. So the number one prediction market for sports in America. Get some great prices. So check out the app. Get $50 and you spend just $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get an extra Novig. Promo code SGPN. Spend $5 to $50 in bonus funds with the promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. So they've been great so far in the NFL season, especially on props. They also have models for college basketball. Check them out for other sports as well, including golf. So check that out. A reminder, though, when you sign up, you can use models from the house. You can copy ones from other people, or you can build your own from scratch if you want to try it out. But when you sign up for Rhythm, use the sign-up code that we have with them for a discount. Use code SGPN25. We download the app for a quarter off your first month. Download Rhythm, once again, promo code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month. Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA Game Podcast. Finished going through the two semifinal matchups in the NBA Cup. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Lonte, what is going to be your Lock and Dog for the show?
Yeah, so for the lock, I'm going to lock up the 4.5 with Orlando. Like I said, I think it comes down to the last few possessions, and maybe the Knicks will have Brunson to close, but hopefully it's to go up 1 or 2 or even 3. I mean 4, even I don't care what it is, but I do think that they'll be able to limit some things that the Knicks want to do, especially in transition. If Bane can kind of relieve some scoring duties off of Paolo and, have Paolo pick his spots, I think that'll be fine. So plus 4.5 for the lock. For the dog, I mean, you talked about it already. I like Josh Hart, plus 145 for the double-double. He has 17 and 12, or 12 and 17. He had a combination. I don't know what it was. I think it was 17 and 12 in the last game they faced each other. Since he's been
I remember he had 12 rebounds. I remember the 12 rebounds part.
Okay, yeah. So say 17 points, 12 rebounds. So either way, it's a double-double, and that's all we need. Since he's been inserted in the starting lineup, he's had 4 double-doubles. He's had 2 more instances where he only had 8 rebounds, so just right there. And I think the game kind of got out of hand because both of those games were at home when they were demolishing teams. So I think this will be a competitive game. he'll have to play a big role, especially rebounding the ball because of the way that the Magic like to play on the physical side. So I'm going to take Josh Hart. I think it's a good value at plus 145.
All right. So for my lock, I'm going to go back to a player prop I mentioned before. I am going to go with Jalen Suggs. I'm going to go with his under 8.5 RA as my lock. Plus money, actually, plus 102. He's had a less than 9 RA in 6 straight. I'll point out he has had less than 8 RA in 4 straight against the Knicks. He hit 7 in the game against the Knicks about 5 days ago. Knicks have been good against opposing point guards, allowing the 4th fewest rebounds per game and the 8th fewest assists per game in the league. So not the best matchup for Suggs this season and historically speaking. Give me the under 8.5 RA for Suggs at plus 102. For my dog, I'm going to call this one the neutral site special. Give me a 2-pick parlay on both unders for the games. Give me the under 223.5 in the Knicks game, parlayed with the under 224.5 in the Thunder game, plus 271. We talk about this throughout the entire competition. These neutral site games, these single elimination games, tend to go under. I know the Thunder and the Spurs recent games both went over. I'll ignore that. Neutral site games, though, have been pretty good to the under in this situation. Give me the 2-pick parlay. I'll back that historical trend, plus 271. Anyway, moving on to the underdog entry. Lonte, I do want to recycle the Suggs play that I had.
Yeah,
so I'll recycle the 8.5 RA lower for Suggs. You want to go with Josh Hart?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Okay. So you want the PR, you want the R? What do you want?
PR is fine, yeah.
Cool. So I'll go with the higher 22.5 PR on Josh Hart. And for the last one, what did you want?
What there was another one that you said you liked.
I said Castle RA.
Yeah, Castle. I think he's averaging like 13 RA, if I'm not
He's been
mistaken.
great.
Yeah, he's been
Castle's RA, by the way, is 10.5.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's too low. Too low. 5 and 5? Yeah, that's too low.
Cool.
Oh, 5 and
So,
6.
yeah, either way. Point is, our 3-pick entry once again for underdog. We're going to go with Jalen Suggs lower, 8.5 RA, Josh Hart higher, 22.5 PR, and Stephon Castle higher, 10.5 RA. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Back once again for the title game for the NBA Cup. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bats. Bye, everyone.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna